Ji-eun Kim was no longer invisible. What once lived quietly in her room had begun to grow into something real, something others could see. Her videos spread slowly at first, then all at once. More views, more comments, more people noticing her in ways she wasn't prepared for. At school, the whispers started. Students glanced at her a little longer. Some recognized her movements before they recognized her face. Ji-eun tried to ignore it, keeping her head down, walking the same halls she always had. But something had changed. She was no longer just a student moving through routine. She was becoming something more. At home, the silence grew heavier. Her parents had started to notice the late nights, the music behind closed doors, the quiet determination that replaced the obedient girl they once knew. One evening, they sat together in the living room, the faint sound of music echoing from upstairs. They didn't need to say much. They already understood that something was shifting, something they hadn't planned for. Ji-eun, unaware of the weight building around her, continued forward. After school, the classroom became her world again. This time, her movements carried urgency. She repeated routines over and over, pushing past exhaustion, correcting every mistake, chasing something she could now almost see. It wasn't perfect. She stumbled, lost her balance, missed steps she thought she had mastered. But she didn't stop. She laughed softly at her mistakes, reset her stance, and tried again. Each failure became part of her progress. Days passed. The small moments began to build into something larger. Her confidence grew. Her control sharpened. Her passion deepened. And then, the opportunity came. A simple announcement echoed through the school, a talent showcase. At first, Ji-eun ignored it. A stage felt different, too real, too exposed. Online was safe, but this meant being seen, truly seen. That night, sleep didn't come easily. Her mind replayed the idea over and over again. A stage, lights, an audience. Fear crept in, wrapping itself around her thoughts. What if she failed? What if they laughed? What if her parents found out? But beneath the fear, something stronger remained. The same feeling that had pushed her this far. The next day, she found herself standing in front of the sign-up sheet. Her name wasn't there, yet. Her hand hovered, her heart pounding louder than the noise around her. For a moment, she hesitated. Then, she wrote it. From that moment on, everything changed. Her practice became structured, intentional, focused. Every movement had purpose. Every step had meaning. She wasn't just dancing anymore. She was preparing. At home, the tension finally began to surface. Her parents noticed everything now. The discipline, the consistency, the quiet defiance in her actions. They didn't fully understand it, but they could no longer ignore it. The days moved faster, the performance grew closer, and with it, the pressure. Doubt returned, louder this time. What if this was a mistake? What if she wasn't good enough? But every time she stepped into that empty classroom, the doubts faded, because in that space she remembered why she started. The night before the performance, Ji-eun stood in front of her mirror. For a long moment, she simply looked at herself, not with fear, not with uncertainty, but with understanding. She saw the effort, the growth, the quiet strength she had built over time. And for the first time, she didn't look away. The day of the performance arrived. Backstage, the noise felt overwhelming. Voices, footsteps, music echoing from the stage beyond the curtain. Ji-eun stood still, her heart racing. For a moment, The fear returned, stronger than before. Then she heard something familiar. Music. Her music. She stepped onto the stage. The lights were brighter than she imagined, the crowd larger than she expected. For a brief second, everything froze. And then she moved. The first step was cautious, the second, stronger. By the third, she was no longer thinking. She was feeling. Every movement flowed naturally. Every spin carried emotion. Every step told a story she had been holding inside for so long. The crowd fell silent, not out of judgment, but out of attention. She wasn't invisible anymore. She wasn't uncertain anymore. She wasn't holding back anymore. She was herself, fully, completely. In the audience, her parents watched, at first with confusion, then realization, then something deeper. They saw her, not as the future they had imagined, but as the person she was becoming. And for the first time, they understood. As the music reached its peak, Ji-eun gave everything she had left. One final movement, one final step. And then stillness. For a moment, the world held its breath. Then the applause came. Loud, real, undeniable. Ji-eun stood there, breathing heavily, looking out at the crowd, not searching for approval anymore, but accepting it. Her eyes moved through the audience until they found her parents. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. Their expressions had already changed. And in that moment, Ji-eun realized something important. She hadn't just performed. She had chosen. As the lights dimmed and the noise faded, one feeling remained. Clear, steady, unshaken. She was no longer chasing a dream. She was living it.